and to do a video for you. I went on and taught myself how to do this, watched a couple videos and put it together so that I can hopefully help you understand it. Okay, so I'm going to redraw our picture as best as I can. It won't be perfect, but something like this. And we have C up here and then D down here. I'm not going to put the numbers, just giving us a little example. This was C, D. C was located at -1, 7, and D is located at 5, 1. Okay? All right, so the question says find 1/3 of the way from CD. Find the point, pretty much, the point that's 1/3 of the way from CD. Okay, so if we were to split this line into thirds, we're trying to see what point, and this is not perfect, obviously, but where would this point be and where would this point be? So the numbers that we come up with should land in those areas. I saw a couple ways that they did it. I'm going to teach you the way that I thought was the easiest way to look at it, and hopefully you think that it's the easiest way to look at it too. Okay. The first thing we need to do, step 1, is find the horizontal distance. The horizontal distance, we're looking at the distance on the x-axis. So from here to here, okay? The horizontal distance. If we were to just look at our points that are -1, 7 and 5, 1, we're really looking at the distance between the x's, okay? So -1 and 5. So from -1 to 5, if we had lines on this graph, we would see is a distance of 6. Okay, that's the same thing as taking the absolute value to find that distance. All right, we're going to do the same thing for our y's. Okay, we want to find the distance of the y's, and if you look on your sheet, you can actually count the squares, and you will see that that's also 6. So that's 7 minus 1, which is 6 also. So both of those have a distance of 6. Okay. All right. So we found the horizontal distance of 6, and then we needed the vertical distance, which was also 6. We just found them both at the same time. Vertical distance was also 6. Okay. Now we are going to find the fraction of those distances. So this is where we were looking at the distance formula and finding the fraction of it. This is the distance that they were talking about. So we want 1/3 of 6, which equals 2, right? So that's our fraction of our horizontal distance. Luckily, they made this problem simple enough that will also be the fraction of our vertical distance, would also be 2. Okay? Okay, hopefully you're still with me. Okay? All right. Now we are going to take our distances and we're going to add our initial value. So notice how our problems ask for, I'm going to write our problems down here. 1/3 of C to D, 2/3 of D to C, 1/3, oh, the next one was 2/3. Let's keep it exactly how they have it. 2/3 of C to D, and then 1/3 of D to C. Okay, so notice they're asking for specifics. So when C comes first, C is our initial. So the first one we're looking for is when C is our initial. So when -1 and 7 is our initial point. Okay, and I'm actually going to find 1/3 and 2/3. I'm going to find these two first because those are our initial points. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take my initial point, my initial x value, which is -1. Okay, take my initial x value, which is -1, and I'm going to add 2. Okay, I end up with 1 as my number. Okay, so let's go back. What this really means, remember, if we're taking 1/3 of 6, we're saying that the spot that's 1/3 of 6 is 2 units from the start point. Okay, so if this is our start point, 2 units from here, 2 units of here will be 1/3. Okay, so 2 units from our start point is 1/3. That's what this is telling us. 2 units from start is 1/3. Okay, so I'm trying to find out where that 1/3 lands on my x-axis, or on my C to D. So I got -1 plus 2, and that gave me my 1. Okay, that's one of my coordinates. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but because now I'm going from top to bottom, right? I'm going from C to D, I'm going up to down. Okay, I'm going up to down. I'm actually going to subtract it because I'm going up, down. So I'm going to start with my initial point, which is 7, and I'm going to subtract 2, and that's going to give me 5. Okay, so this is telling me that 1/3 of CD, 1/3 of CD point will be 1, 5. Okay, and that kind of makes sense because 1/3 here and 1/3 here would meet on the line about where we kind of said it would. Remember, we're kind of etching, but that kind of meets where we said it would. Okay, and that would be 1, 5. Now let's find that 2/3 of CD. Okay, the same way. So we're going to take 2/3 times 6. Remember, we could put that over 1. We get 12 over 3, which equals 4. And then luckily, once again, they're the same numbers. Okay, so this is telling me that 2/3 away would be 4 units from start. Okay, it would be 4 units from the start point. So I'm going to take my -1 plus 4, and that's going to give me +3. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with my 7, because remember, we're still looking at my initial point being C. So my 7, but this time I'm going down, right? Because I'm trying to get from here to here about 2/3 of the way. Okay, so now I'm going to take 7, because I'm going down, I'm going to subtract those 4 units, which gives me another 3. Okay, so we're looking at about right here and here. So we're saying that's about 3 and 3, which looks about right. Okay, so we're saying our points for CD would be 3 and 3. Okay, all right, now we're going to go and look at this as if our initial point was 5, 1. Okay, because now we want to go from D to C. We want 1/3 and 2/3 for D to C. Okay, so let's go ahead and find, well, we don't really have to find these again, but just to go through the steps. But 1/3 of 6 is still 2. 1/3 of 6 is still 2. So that's still saying 2 units from start. But now remember, our start is 5, 1. Okay, so our X value here is 5. Okay, so now I'm going to take, I want the 1/3 of DC. I'm going to take 5 because I'm going to the left now. Okay, notice now I'm going to the left. So I'm going to take away those 2. 2 units from the start, I'm going to take away those 2. So I'm going to the left. So I'm going to say 5 minus 2, which equals 3. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing for my Y. My starting Y is 1, but now I'm going up. So now I'm going to say plus those 2, which gives me another 3. Okay, so because I was going left here, to stay within, right? I'm going left. So it's 5 minus 2. That's going to give me that 3 for my x value. Okay. And then for my y value, because I'm going up, okay, for my 1/3, I'm going to also take 1 plus 2. That gives me 3. So this point is actually still 3, 3. And then we're going to do the same thing with 2/3. So 2/3 times 6 equals 12 over 3, which equals 4. So this doesn't change. Just doing it just so that you can make sure you know where it's coming from. So now we're looking at 4 units from start. Hold on 1 second. 4 units from start. So my starting point was 5 for my x. Okay. Oh, I already did 5. Hold on. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Here we go. So 5 for my x. So 5, I'm going to the left. So I'm going to take away 4. That gives me 1. And then I'm starting at 1. And I'm going up. So I'm going to add those 4. That gives me 5. So that point will also be 1, 5. Okay. So this is saying that 1/3 of CD will be at that 1.15 at 0.15. Okay, and that's about where we got. And then we said 2/3 of CD will be at about 3, 3. Okay, that would be, let me color color it. Okay. And then we just did the same thing, except we went backwards. So we went from D to C, so we had to subtract. Okay. I hope that makes a little sense. If you need anything else, we can go ahead and reschedule our actual hour of tutoring. But hopefully this video helps you. All right. Take care, Avery.